There's no question that humans can augment their natural abilities by various devices. Simplest one is a pencil. If I have a pencil, I can perform complex mathematical operations. My brain is doing all the work, but without the pencil, it would be quite hard.
Yes, that's a very good example.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there are devices used in radionics that look extremely complicated, that involve a witness, where you take a snippet of fingernail or hair, or sometimes a photograph of the target, might be a person, might be an agricultural field, place it into a well, and then they assess it to look for what rates, what so-called frequencies might influence it. Actually, they first try to assess what's wrong with it, and then they assess rates to which they will broadcast apparently some subtle energy to the target to effectively produce the desired change, health or improved yields, etc.
Now, you and I both knew Arthur M. Young, who was a mentor of mine, the inventor of the Bell helicopter, who was an avid student of radionics.
That's interesting about Arthur, yes. And I remember he used the Brunner scale to evaluate one's development, which was very intriguing.
And he worked very closely with Frances Farley, who was a skilled and even famous radionics practitioner.
Yes, and I learned from her, this was her attitude, that the machine was, the radionics device to her was nothing more than training wheels. And once she got to a certain point, she didn't need it anymore, just like someone learning to ride a bicycle. So you need the training wheels to balance, and then eventually you can ride a bike without. But there are really a couple of other viewpoints on this. There are people who believe it's all in the mind, it's all about us and our abilities and simply extending them. A little help to focus in the device. And there are those who are the gearheads who think it's all in the devices. And then there are those who think, meh, it's a little bit of both.
Well, I'm inclined to take a pragmatic approach to this, and if it works for somebody, if they're getting results, then and their belief system, whatever it may be, is part of the system that produces those results, then for those people that belief system is true, even if it's not true for someone else.
I think that's very important. I would agree, because people have taken even visual diagrams of radionics machines drawn on paper, so there's really no circuits. They're just simply pen lines showing struct schematics, and then they use this in the same manner. And as long as they believe it, it works. But if there was a line missing which they thought should be there, it didn't work. So there you go. There's the biology of belief again.
Well, we do know that belief is very powerful. The placebo effect is one of the most powerful effects in all of medicine. For example. So, and the human mind is quite mysterious, and some of these psychic procedures are very complex. You have to go through a certain recipe step by step by step in order to get the right result, and to have a device that can help guide you through those steps, I think, is useful.
Absolutely, yes. So there's a little bit of the target, whether it's a banana or a picture of your agricultural field that goes into a well, so you can focus on that. And then you have a way of asking questions, yes or no, by running your fingers over a plate and looking for a yes, which would be a stickiness, and a no, which would be a smoothness. But actually, the original dowsing I heard was 2 fingers together, and a stickiness meant a yes, and a smoothness meant a no. So you didn't really need an instrument. It's right here.
Well, one could say that the most sophisticated psychotronic instrument of all is our biological organism.
Right, that's
we
right.
have enormous capability right here in our own bodies.
Indeed.
Far more than we could comprehend.
Yes. But again, we live in a world in which it's not so commonly considered. So we need a little help.